think everyone at the school knows how funny this intro could have been, talking about Will's past. But ever since he committed to Army, here's a little look into his future.
I'm so blessed to be friends with Will. I will truly miss him next year. I'll miss his humor, I'll miss his intelligence, but most of all, I'll miss the Will Culliton charm that everyone has fallen for.
Introducing our best friend, William Patrick Culliton.
I grew up in a family surrounded by journalists. Every deadline had to be met, every story had to be unraveled, and everybody had to work as a team. As a child, none of this was too significant to me, but as I get older, the values I learned from growing up in such a unique household are helping me understand how lucky I was. My mom worked at WCCO for 16 years, from 1988 to 2004. She was a lead anchor with Don Shelby on the 5 and 6 p.m. news, and then she took over the morning news after I was born. Every morning, my mom would wake me up before she left, which was at like 3 a.m., and I really didn't like it. But before she would walk out of my room, I would tell her to say, "Hi, Will," at the end of her newscast. For years, I was convinced that my mom was giving me shout-outs every morning. One morning, I decided that I was actually going to wake up to watch my mom on TV. But really, I just wanted to hear my name in front of thousands of people. Devastated would be an understatement. She didn't say my name. She never said my name. And I don't think I ever quite got over that. While my mom was busy in front of the camera, my dad was busy behind the scenes. He was the news director and general manager of the station, which means he was my mom's boss. He was at WCCO for 12 years until CBS sent him west to run the station in Los Angeles on Sunset Boulevard right under the Hollywood sign. We lived in Beverly Hills with a 90210 zip code and with neighbors like Jim Carrey, Lionel Richie, Jay Leno, and a host of other Hollywood stars. My brother has fond memories of going to kindergarten with Sasha Simmons. Everybody knows Gene Simmons, the lead singer of Kiss, the guy with the tongue. Well, that's his daughter. Parent night at the school was entertaining to say the least. Not many of you know that I was one with Hollywood for much of my early life. Sunset Boulevard was my 394. Santa Monica Beach was my Lake Minnetonka, and Rodeo Drive was my Mall of America. In keeping with my Hollywood roots and tying in the world of journalism that I've been surrounded by, what better way to tell the story of my years here at Breck and the people who have meant the most to me than by using a film that illustrates the finest principles of broadcast news. You know it, you love it, and you probably know every line in it. Anchorman, the legend of Ron Burgundy. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my team. I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal. I am Ron Burgundy, and it's not because I am incredibly good looking. Just kidding. I like to think of myself as somebody that brings people together. Whether it's on the basketball court or between friend groups, I enjoy watching people work with each other to create a final product. My summer bonfires brought kids together from Breck, Orono, Benilde, Eden Prairie, Forest Lake, and everywhere in between. Ron Burgundy brings his news crew together to make one fine newscast every day. While I hope I would never mindlessly read profanity off of a teleprompter, I have made my fair share of big mistakes. but I always try to bounce back. So here's the team. Kwaku Bodum is Brick Tamlin, the quirky weatherman. These two remind me a lot of each other because their thoughts coincide. Here's a quote from Brick that may sound a little upside down. People tend to like me because I am polite and rarely late. I like ice cream and I really enjoy a nice pair of slacks. We all have our favorite Kwaku lines, and here are some of mine. My teeth are really sensitive, so I like to slowly slurp up my ice cream. Life is like a rock. It's hard. Then you soften it. But then it just gets hard again. My heart is tired. Man, I'm done chasing. I'm going to play the game like a shortstop. Just let the ball come to me. And the line Kwaku uses the most that nobody can seem to understand. Charity starts at home, boys. Anybody who knows Kwaku can relate to this texting conversation I had with him last summer. Will, what's up? Want to hang? Yeah, sure, Quay, come on over. All right, man, I'll be there in 30. 7 hours later. No Kwaku. Elise Garvin is Veronica Corningstone because she's the only girl I know that can be one with the guys. Veronica put up with the crazy antics of Ron's team, and Elise has had to do the same with mine. When we're being stupid, she's quick to tell us to knock it off. When we find ourselves in trouble, she's the first to come up with a solution. And when we're in need of some cheering up, she's always the one that steps up. As you may recall, in the first Anchorman movie, Veronica and Ron share a rivalry for the lead anchor spot. I also share a rivalry with Elise. The main reason why I won't get an Instagram is because I know I'll never be able to get as many likes as she does. Veronica lives with the craziness of Ron and the boys. Elise comes to my house and her world morphs into ESPN, college basketball, and the latest in Kwaku's girl troubles. Keegan Iverson is Baxter, Ron's dog. He has a tragic thing happen where he's punted off of a bridge. He manages to survive, and after many months, he finds himself back in Ron Burgundy's arms. Keegan left for Portland to play hockey his sophomore year. When Keegan left, I felt a lot like Ron, sad and lonely. But much like Baxter, Keegan found his way back home, and he's been doing so every summer. Mo the Wall is Brian Fantana, the investigative reporter. Not many know who Brian Fantana truly is, and that's why it fits perfectly. Brian Fantana said, "I was in love once, but I can't remember her name." There are many layers to Mo that his friends have tried to peel off, but nobody can seem to understand him. Mo's the type of friend that come up to you in the hallway and say, "Hey, you know they've done studies, and they say that this pencil works 60% of the time. It works every time," and then walk away. It doesn't make any sense, and that's why he's so hard to understand. He's been one of my best friends for almost 8 years now, and I still can't figure out what goes on in his mind. But Mo, I will figure out who you truly are someday, I promise. Graydon Kulik is Champ, everyone's favorite sportscaster. Champ comes off as the most masculine on the news team because of his signature catchphrase, whammy, his love of Ron Burgundy, and his passion for sports. Isn't that Graydon? Here's what Champ said to Ron after Ron was fired. "We need you. No, I need you. I'm a mess without you. I miss being with you. I miss being near you. I miss your laugh. I miss your smile." Those exact words came out of Graydon's mouth when I told him I wasn't playing football this year. Another one of Champ's famous quotes, "Ain't a day that will be or has been that I don't have Ron Burgundy's back." Graydon has had my back, and he has since 5th grade as we played football, basketball, and baseball together. We share a love of sports, but our friendship goes much deeper than that. So that's my team. I've developed incredible friendships here at Breck, and I consider so many of you here my good friends, not just seniors. But these are the people I've spent the most time with, shared the most with, and know I'll always be close to. I've been lucky enough to have friends like these. Kwaku, who's taught me that serving others is always better than serving yourself. Maybe charity does start at home. Elise, who's taught me to never be a victim, and that empathy is an emotion we all should embrace. Keegan, who's taught me that friendship can always flourish, regardless of the distance. Mo, who's taught me that complexity can be a good thing. And Graydon, who's taught me that no matter what you do, everything's okay. I'd ask that we all think about our own teams. especially the seniors sitting here this morning. It doesn't matter if your team is big or small. It matters if you cherish the people inside of it. That group will get you through virtually anything. We all like to say we cherish our friends and our friendships, but do we really? If you do, then show them how you couldn't live without them. My final thought is echoing the words of the legendary Ron Burgundy. Stay classy, Breck School. Thank you.